Can you tell me who you are, what you do, and where you've been today?
Hi, I'm Roxanne from Female Founder Finance and Goodman Corporate Finance. And today I have been at Nottingham Trent University delivering a workshop on business funding solutions for start and scale up businesses.
Why do you believe it's important to share the knowledge around finance?
You don't know what you don't know. Every day is a school day, especially if you are on your startup business journey. It's really important to have a basic understanding of how you can get to start and scale your business, what products and solutions are appropriate at what stage of business.
What brought you to Nottingham Trent University to deliver this workshop, and what were you there to help the students to understand?
I was invited. I know Diana from the Female Founders Club, and she asked me to go and deliver a session on general business funding, not gender specific. And it's really important for the founders who are graduating from business school, who have either started their business already and are on that really early stage journey, whether they funded it through a startup loan or whether they've bootstrapped it, for them to understand all the different things that are out there to help, whether that's a B2B business and they need invoice finance, or whether they are scaling massively. And some of them were really interested in understanding how the angel investor network would be a benefit for them and their business going forwards.
And what were some of the most interesting or challenging questions you were asked during this morning's session?
There was quite a lot of questions. A few of my favorite ones from the session. We had a really great question from a male in the room who had no idea that there was any issue for women borrowing money in any way, shape or form, had got no idea of the data and the stats around the huge funding gap, why that is. So I spent a little bit of time explaining, obviously, the one BC, the loan size gap, the funding gap across lending and investing in general. It was a really interesting question from a male in the room who genuinely was shocked and horrified by some of the information that I was sharing. Another really great question was what the difference was in bank accounts. A lot of the founders had set up online bank accounts with the likes of Monzo and Starling, but they wanted to know the benefit of having a bank account with a high street bank. Obviously, having a high street is where all businesses should always aspire to be. But a lot of them in the room had been through such a painful process in trying to get accounts opened. They felt they'd got no choice but to go online and get a quick instant access bank account set up purely so they could start trading straight away.
And finally, what did this session reinforce to you about the next generation of founders, and what, probably more importantly, still needs to change?
I think the awareness of everything that's out there, the majority of people in the room had never heard of invoice finance, didn't know what revenue-based funding was, didn't know outside of bootstrapping and friends and family how to get access to finance to grow. So a lot more has to be done at education level. Obviously, all those students are there to study business, but pre going to university, the majority of them had got no idea or no concept about how to start or scale a company of their own.
So, if there was one key takeaway from the students today, what do you think their key takeaway would have been? And from your point of view of providing the training, what was your takeaway from today's session?
I did do an ask around of the value they thought I had added from the session. And they were all blown away by the amount of things out there that they'd never heard of. Commercial mortgages, asset finance, invoice finance, revenue based funding. Everyone automatically assumes, oh, I need a loan or I need an overdraft. And that's all that's out there. So hopefully I've instilled a little bit of knowledge about all the things that are out there to help, regardless of what sector or industry or size of turnover business that you have. A key takeaway from me is it was the enthusiasm and the energy in the room, I think, because they were all super keen to learn, regardless of whether they're there just to study and it's a business module or whether they actually do have their own businesses already set up. They were super keen. They really appreciated everything that I went through, tried to relate all the personal experiences that we've had as founders, all the challenges and hurdles that we faced ourselves, and really make it relatable and personable, saying growing a business is really difficult, especially at the minute. So I wasn't going to sugarcoat it for them and say, oh, everything's amazing. You can be a business owner and you're set for life, because that's not the reality of what having a business is. But yeah, hopefully they all went away with lots of knowledge and a little dose of reality.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.